Yeah, Harden's strong as fuck. He is. You're right, actually. You're not wrong. Harden is strong.
Literally, the argument comes down to having Giannis dominate the season, then lose on playoffs against stacked teams.
What, the Miami Heat is a stacked team? Dude, that team's a fucking fraud team. And they lost to Toronto. Fair enough. No, Harden's... But not Harden's a bad defender. He's on one leg. I'm fairly confident I could outrun Harden right now. I could break my own legs and still outrun him. Oh shit. That's a big issue. Chipsa going to die. He doesn't look massively obese. Do you guys think I've lost weight since I came back to England? Because I don't get this, because I haven't lost any weight over the past 6 months. Or at least not a reasonable amount. Maybe like a pound or two. Can't even outrun a stool.
And no, we don't know.
Can we win a finals MVP through an easy playoff bracket? Not really. I mean, I wish there was like a playoffs MVP. I mean, there is some Mickey Mouse Finals MVPs for sure, like the Iguodala one in 2015, I think it was. But really, all it is, the problem with Finals MVP is that the devs are too pussy to give it to a losing team. Because LeBron should have had like three Finals MVPs in some of the finals that he lost. Like, I think the 2016 one he should have had it. The 2015 one, sorry, he should have had it for sure. And you can make an argument for the could make an argument for the 2017 one, but I probably wouldn't talk about it. Yeah, it only happened to Jerry West, but they're too scared to do it nowadays.
Yeah, go for it, we're gonna top right.
32 months ago, first ideas, the majority of the time calling you fat in Greece, you can't call you fat anymore. Why not? You're too much of a pussy to call me fat?
Okay, wait. Can you full top right?
Oh, that's a Reaper there. Get after the Reaper guy.
Monkey no jump, monkey.
Yeah, I've lost weight compared to like what I was like in Philadelphia, for sure.
I don't care about any award anymore because my boil and melon to your Chipsa base.
Moira. Nice shot. Keep behind one.
Go on.
I think Karl Malone, John Stockton, Jazz didn't win a single chip. MJ. If you think about how many all-time greats are ringless because of MJ, it's actually crazy. There's like 10 of them. If you look at the best players to ever not win a championship, like half of them are because of MJ. Gary Payton won a ring, technically, I believe, in Miami. But yeah, you look at Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Stockton, Malone, Reggie Miller, Clyde Drexler won one in Houston, I think. But imagine if he kept playing and went 8-0, you'd have Hakeem Olajuwon.
Which one?
That's crazy. In the Jordan era, no one ate. In the LeBron era, everyone ate. That's their base. In fact, I would even argue that is so bad.
I will leave out so I can control high ground.
Yeah, you look at some of those teams, like that Supersonics team in '96 was like an unbelievable team, and like an all-time great team. Didn't win anything.
No hook.
Orlando Magic team didn't win anything. Knicks teams didn't win anything. Jazz team didn't win anything.
I'll give up.
God, I fucking despise Widow with an undying passion.
Second one.
CP3 could finally win a ring. Could have gave Kobe like 7. That's true, actually.
Get out.
Problem with Kobe is that three of his rings, he wasn't even the best player on his team. So.
There's a monkey top right as well. I will chase them. No, okay, he's out.
I mean, he was like the third or fourth best player in the world at that time, but he wasn't the best on his team. Wasn't even the best on his team, right? So I'm saying that hurts his legacy, which it just does. No question. That's one of the biggest issues with Kobe's legacy. Because again, let's say you're comparing it to LeBron. If you gave LeBron a prime Shaq, I mean, they would never lose. True. No, it doesn't rebut it. It strengthens his. It means it puts the Kobe as a relevant player in all-time greats. There's 2 rings. Wow, I hit the Reaper there.
Lucia. Mercy. Mission to recall. Okay, cool. Below. Ball 1. Get back.
God, I fucking hate this game so much. Like, this doesn't. Moving 2 speed doesn't fix this. Is this shit not like feels good, man? I'm not saying you didn't get carried. I'm not saying you got carried by Shaq. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying LeBron or MJ have never had a teammate like that, like Shaq. Just never. So that's my argument. And the fact that they only won 3 is also a bit of a problem as well. 2 winning Bosch. I agree, and that's a hit on his legacy. The fact that they only won 2, big hit on his legacy. I think Beal leads Washington this year. He should. No, Wade was only bad in that last year. He was fine in 2012 and 2013 and 2011. And Bosch kind of became like a role player because Bosch was still good, he just wasn't, he couldn't be this player he was. My good friend thinks NBA is rigged. Yeah, educate me. True. NBA rigs games so that LeFraud James can get rings. Yes, me. Yeah, Pippen was an excellent player, but Pippen was nowhere near as good as Shaq. I don't think Pippen was as good as Wade. The thing that the Bulls had, they had an incredibly well-rounded team. Incredibly well-rounded. Like unbelievably like players like Horace Grant, criminally underrated. Ron Harper did his role exceptionally. They had shooters, Paxson, Kerr. Dennis Rodman again. By the way British people say Rodman. Kind of cringe. Bad takes. I mean, those Bulls teams were the best teams of all time, in my opinion, because it was a well-rounded team and they have the best player of all time. Oh my fucking god! What the fuck is that hero?
Sorry, you might want to try to get out.
Dude, like, he's just lucky, man. I don't jump into his thingy.
Get out.
Wade's lander. I mean, Wade's the 3rd best shooting guard ever. But Wade must be the best player ever graced the quarterfinal when he says in the games. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh god, how does his dick taste, huh? I'm so fucked here. Oh! Who's the best small forward of all time? My top 10 list of all time: number 1, LeBron; number 2, Scottie Pippen.
Entertainment and the All-Star events are getting boring.
Behind.
I also hate the argument people make that LeBron didn't, sorry, MJ didn't win without Pippen. But like the next year that Pippen came into the league, he was averaging like 4 points a game, and they went to like the East semis, I think. LeBron won 2 KD 10 question.
Oh my god, Bob.
Where do you guys think Kawhi ranks all time?
Shout for the widow on cock.
Okay, chat. Now it's time for my daily hot take of the day. Kawhi is a better all-time great player than KD. There, I said it.
Maybe. No, I don't think so. Maybe.
And that's not because he's my favorite player. I mean, that's literally just typical. That's literally just typical. Kawhi's not that good. He's so overhyped. Shut the fuck up right now. Did you see that series against Dallas? Watch Game 7, Game 6 and Game 7. Tell me he's overhyped again. Watch those 2 games. Kawhi can't shoot threes well. He's a 39% career three-point shooter. I think. He's arguably the greatest defender ever. He's in that conversation. And at least in terms of perimeter defenders, all-time great. Right in the pantheon of elites. Lost the 3-1 lead, yeah, but it was a rigged Mickey Mouse tournament. And if you look at that series, by the way, you look at Kawhi's performance in everything except for the second half of Game 7. You can't blame him. Why couldn't you guard Jamal Murray?
Ball one.
Because of Doc Rivers. I blame Doc Rivers.
Take care of the widow. Where the widow? He's on main. He's on main.
Yeah, and then the Raptors chip was arguably was a top 5 playoff run of all time. By like every metric. Yeah, I agree. KD's the best offensive. I agree with you 100%. But you look at KD's stats in the playoffs compared to like prime Kawhi's versus prime KD's, it's actually not that far off. It's actually not. The difference is that KD can score from anywhere on the court at any time with no help. Kawhi is much more tactical. He picks and chooses his spots. What's your opinion? I think Paul George... Oh my god. I rate Paul George higher in the all-time leaderboard than LeBron. And I think that's just true. Okay. I'm kidding. I don't know with PG, man. He's talented, but he hasn't shown up in the biggest ways yet in a consistent basis.
You can drag on the board and get that. Watch out though.
I choked that kill away. KD would smoke Kawhi 1v1, yeah, of course. Because KD's I think the best 1v1 player ever. I think KD would beat every human being who's ever lived ever in a 1v1. But last time I checked, guys. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I have a question. Is basketball 1v1? No, I think Kobe and MJ would lose to KD 1-on-1. I think so. Just too tall. He's just too big. Depends how pressurized it was, though, right?
This is the time where you cannot die.
Yeah, but LeBron's strength isn't in his 1v1 because he's not actually like that good a one-on-one player compared to all-time greats. Because he's a facilitator. He's a pass-first guy. He's never been like an all-time great one-on-one player. Like comparing it to like MJ, Kobe, KD. Who wins 1v1, T-Mac or KD? Or KD for sure. He's a mismatch of... Oh, I agree with you. The difference between Kawhi and KD is that if you look statistically, they're actually very similar. Like in terms of stats. But if you watch the games, KD just doesn't miss tough shots. Like he's like I'm gonna give you the ball with 5 seconds left on the clock, and he can hit any shot.
Ball and Reaper, I think, left side. Yeah, I'm pulling side.
And they say chivalry is dead.
Morwood would smoke all these NBA players. Holy base.
Reaper TP.
The thing is that they probably wouldn't respect his authority, and that would be a big red flag for him.
Pulling now.
Oh, wow, that's really
Take Reaper. Reaper 1.
LeBron's best all-around player ever. Like, he's the most well-rounded player of all time. But he's not the best. Yeah, they're getting rid of Bud regardless. Unless they win the chip, they're getting rid of him.
Touch. Reaper 1.
She has to be some grapple to get that, right?
Don't worry, I'm.
Step point.
I'm pointed.
Dude, this hero's so disgusting. How can you be so shit and is unkillable? That the 3-point line, Wilt would win against KD 1v1. Maybe.
Step point. Ball!
I got booked.
The fact that this game's now 50-50 is absurd.
Hello everyone, I
From
am
Kuzra Valley.
-5 kind to say very, hop, very, hop, very, hop, very,
Kyle Kuzma's a loser.
very, hop, very, hop.
I mean, this game's now legit 50-50.
Very.
Like, legit 50-50 right now. Convince Ron Sexual that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. The problem with Kuzma is he's too inconsistent.
Welcome to the bag of
He
chips.
doesn't do a role properly.
200-word essay.
Hey, thanks for 3 with 3 sub, Muslim boy.
Here I am choosing Iguadala.
KD or Curry for 3-point shots? Is that even a fucking question? No, I don't play basketball. That's not even a question. You're taking the greatest 3-point shooter ever by far against the guy who's pretty good at, he's really good at 3-point shooting. What? Watch The Last Dance? Yeah, I did, yeah. The only question about Curry is that can he shoot that well under pressure? That's the only question he has. Everything else is just he's clearly the best. Last Dance equals propaganda, true.
60 seconds remaining.
They have ball, Reaper.
I always think it's sad that, like,
Sick.
is it not sad that Kyle Kuzma has more rings than Charles Barkley?
Reaper top left.
Under pressure, I think.
One pushing you.
Both.
And they say
Shit.
Let's give them space.
Ah, we lost this fight already. Our positioning's so bad right now. We actually got out alive and got a kill, that's huge. That's alright, we're glad to get that kill. It's weird because the Widow can't hit shoots. There's just one!
Ball.
Don't let Arissa die here. That River's killable, use his shift, Sniff his arse, he dies.
Ball.
Oh my goodness.
Reaper behind.
I was just thinking, literally just got me killed.
Where's she one?
What are you doing?
Sigma, 1 HP, ball 1 HP left side. Trust out. Right. Trust out.
Meteor strike.
Round 3 complete.
Love your streams. Took me for 30 minutes. Enjoy the stream. Sounds like something you really enjoy. You should stream for longer sometimes. Say thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know, super good, but always looked over. Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, Isaiah's a player that doesn't have that much talent. That overachieved his career because of intangibles, I think. That's the way I think about Isaiah Thomas. If that makes sense. Like when he dropped like 20 points in a quarter with like a broken ankle or some shit. Like that's what I mean by that, you know? Wow, those Pistons teams are so hard to rate and how good their players were because they had such a well-rounded roster. Yeah, Bill Lambier is like so dirty. Eventually game from Magical Milk now. From Blizzy, yeah. Pistons brawl comp. They literally ran rush comp in the NBA.
And they
How'd you get into basketball? I don't know. I literally watched. The first thing I watched in basketball was I watched a video like of MJ's highlights. Well, this is really cool. I kept watching highlights on my phone, and then all of a sudden this documentary, The Last Dance, came out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking sick. And then I got into it from there, basically.
Next low.
She literally won.
And they say super.
Most aesthetically pleasing player of time. Honestly, you wanna? I think PG is one of the most athletically pleasing players of all time. We're gonna lose this game unless we play hit scan, so I really don't want to play hit scan. He's so smooth with it. Why the fuck do we have a Mercy? But we had Mercy the whole game. I think we have.
I know.
That's a big kill, but it's not going to matter if we let them res it. Okay, we didn't. Just die fast and reset. They're down like 3.
No for American.
You watch a lot of older games?
Can we chase this?
Only older games I watch really was MJ's games.
They use
Like I watch pretty much all of his finals highlights.
Nice wait.
We're fucked here. That far is just going to be uncontested. We can't stop. They nano it? Oh, they don't have a nano actually.
Grab one.
If I can sneak on the back here, maybe we can win this.
Reaper.
Oh, that's huge.
Nice, good take.
Rest me?
Du mig. Du ska ta mig på mig.
Nice.
We lost.
Yeah, nice.
I'll do it. From the Heat days, have you seen those? You know, that's not old though. Like I've watched a lot of games and stuff. Well, like this is